Hi, friends. I'm alive. A little touch and go there. I think the internet is getting overtaxed. But I'm glad that it worked. I'm glad I can sing for you. Today's theme, let go of control. Cultivate those traditions that bring you joy. Tune your ukulele better. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say once you're gone forever, and some say you're gonna come back. Some say you'll rest in the arms of the Savior if in sinful ways you lack. Some say that they're coming back in a garden, bunch of carrots and little sweet peas. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say that they're going to a place called glory, and I ain't saying it ain't a fact. But I've heard that I'm on the road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that. I believe in love and I live my life accordingly. But I choose to let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worried about where they're gonna go when the whole thing's done. But no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Full disclosure, I have a lot of trouble letting the mystery be. I super want to believe that I am in control, and that things will work out the way that I plan for them to, and I get frustrated when they don't. I get frustrated when people don't behave the way that I think that they should. I clearly have so many issues with control, even though I've been studying yoga and meditation, and I wrote my dissertation on the idea of self-sustainability and finding creative ways to create balance when I'm not in control. And that's a tenet of nonviolent communication as well. So here I am, and that was an Iris Dement song, and it's one that I love because she's really playful in this idea of just let it go, and what else can we do? I mean, we're in this time where there's a global pandemic. The universe is a complex place. So, I don't know how much one person can do to try to draw it out of chaos, but there are a lot of people, working to at least create a little bit of illusion of control, a little bit of stability and grounding, in the form of better understanding the virus and, treatments and lockdown and taking the steps to protect people. And I think that really, on an individual level, that is one of the best things that we can do in these times is, take the steps to create stability for ourselves. And, for me, that's just, honoring traditions that bring me a sense of grounding, my morning coffee, long walk in the forest, hanging out with my cats and my dog who are completely unperturbed by the state of the world. So it's a good sort of perspective, reminder that life goes on, and even in chaotic, uncertain times. And my husband brushes the husky, and then I vacuum all of the fur because my husky is shedding like it's going out of style. Great timing for being stuck inside. So for my 30 minutes of music this afternoon, I'm doing 30 days of concerts, and I just shifted from an hour to 30 minutes just for my own balance and stability and keeping my hands and fat fingers that decided to blow up a little bit more in balance. I'm playing some songs about this idea of letting go of control, and also of honoring traditions. And so in this lockdown time, I've been going through all these songs that I wrote years and years ago. And there's hi Sarah, yay! Friends are joining and tuning in, which is so fun. For me, this like creates just joy, instantly joy. Singing, connecting with people, even across a virtual space. And I came upon several songs that I wrote when I was a park ranger. I worked at a national historical park in Massachusetts, and I did this project with another park in the area called New Bedford Whaling National Historical Park, I think is what it's called. And it's a really interesting place. I mean, there's a history of whaling, men being out at sea. You kind of think of this romantic image of the women like walking the widow, what is it, the widow walk, or those little kind of balconies around the houses waiting for their men to come home from sea. A lot of, different time, obviously. But for people who are separated from family, I mean, I have a friend in the UK whose husband was working in Normandy, and they just saw each other, thankfully, over spring break, but now the borders are closed. So anyway, going back to New Bedford, I wrote several songs from written and recorded verbal spoken histories. And this one I really loved because it was about a daily tradition, and the woman who shared it, she said she and her sisters all remembered this tradition. So one way to cultivate joy is keep some of those traditions that bring them. It was a ritual my mother had every afternoon. My sisters and I remember we would walk from our house on Sycamore Street to get to the Cordage Company at 4:30. We used to do this every day. We would wait and see who saw Daddy first. He did not always stop and wave at us, but he knew we were there. Then we would all walk home. We used to peek through the windows of the Cordage Company, through the bars on the windows of the bottom floor. It was a red brick building with a green door on the side that Daddy came out at 4:30. We used to do this every day. We would wait and see who saw Daddy first. He would not always stop and wave at us, but he knew we were there. Then we would all walk home. We used to do this every day. We would wait and see who saw Daddy first. He did not always stop and wave at us, but he knew we were there. From the building where the rope was made, he knew we were there. I remember it like yesterday. He knew we were there. Then we would all walk home. We would all walk home. Maybe you can't see, but I've got a lot of company today. I had to bring over a second chair because I'm a complete enabler, and my cat had already taken mine. We've got the husky who's like pretty excited about this concert, and maybe I will. I've got like a typewriter because my husband is a typewriter aficionado, and I've got a typewriter acting as like a table. But if I bring this down a little bit, then the cat can also join the fun. Holy man, that is a heavy typewriter. Wow. All right. Well, my head gets cut off, but what does it matter as long as you can see the cat, right? So today, letting go of the illusion of control, but in its stead, creating balance with the practices, the routines, the traditions that help us create grounding and that make life worth living. One of the first, well, really the first song that I wrote when I first started writing music. We don't actually need the dog to like lick the cat's butt for the concert. That's always fun. Other traditions that maybe we don't need to share. But this is a song called He Would Wave, I Would Wave. And this was the tradition of my own dad. So instead of picking dad up, it was dad dropping me off at preschool. Maybe you have some family traditions. Maybe you have some new traditions in lockdown, like everyone go to their corner. Was it morning or afternoon? Preschool was a building, partially underground. I would fall into despair. I had tears streaming down my face. Narrow windows my dad would peer through. I would look through streaming tears. He would wave, I would wave. 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 I would grow despondent. It was when he left. He would go to the next window. He would wave, I would wave. 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 This would go on and on. This would go on and on. He would wave, I would wave. 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 I would wave. I think that calls for some jazz hands. When I was little, we had the tradition of my parents telling me that I had to hold hands when we crossed the street. So I used to take my own hand and say, okay, because I was obnoxious. Yeah. I broke with tradition of wearing a sweatshirt and t-shirt and sweatpants, which is like working from home, my new uniform since my, park ranger days, and I got dressed up for you. Got some bling, got some flowers for spring. That even rhymes. Look at that. Got some poetry. My husband and I were joking, and I was like, I read this the other day in a concert. One of my little lockdown concerts. I read a line from Chris in the Morning from a show called Northern Exposure, which is hilarious. It's a Jewish doctor from New York City who has to go and work as a doctor in a tiny community in Alaska because Alaska paid for his medical degree or medical school, and and so I read this little like beautiful, I thought, little piece from one of the characters who's who's the radio show guy. Everybody's always listening on the radio, and so we were joking that I could write my own poem for you. Here it is. Ready? Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm in lockdown. So are you. Ah, is that talent? I think so. So today, singing some songs about letting go of the illusion of control, honoring traditions, and practices that bring you joy. And I played a couple songs, that I've written, and one from Iris Dement called "Let the Mystery Be." Hi, I know. Don't stop petting me, Mom. And I'm going to play a song for you that is by a group called First Aid Kit. So I'm playing some of my own songs. I'm also playing songs from people whose music speaks to me. And this song, I like this because it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it sort of speaks to that idea of letting go of control, but also of just, taking a moment to reflect on your life and shift to live it the way that you really want to. And, maybe lockdown is a good time to just kind of reevaluate, if not in lockdown, then when? So this is called In the Hearts of Men. In the hearts of men, in the arms of mothers, in the parts we play to convince others we know what we're doing it right. They've written books on the subject, but then you still might be surprised by your tone over the phone to your sister while waiting in line at the shopping mall that's just outside of town. Ooh, 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 whoa. In the hands of teachers, in the books you read, the things you say when we've lost the lead. I'd still try to speak up, but my voice won't make a sound. And I thought it all over too many times. When there is no use and the lights are all out, I just give it up and I walk home past the shopping mall that's just closing down. Ooh, ooh, la da da da, ooh, la da da da, ooh, whoa. Will you tell yourself you must be what you'll be? Who's to say who is who and what is what if we simply don't agree? Now time will come to claim you, and it will have its way. Don't make no mistakes and don't regret. Don't waste the time that is left and then do it all with a goddamn smile. La Oh, in the hearts of men, in the arms of mothers, in the parts we play to convince others. High five. No? Okay, maybe next time. He's like, I do everything with a smile because I'm a cat. Life is always good. I do what I want. You don't want me on your table? I'm going to get on that table anyway. That's right. I'm going to disappear your favorite jewelry. And, I'm just going to remind you that you're not in control. So really, if you have a cat, you should be pretty well prepared for a global pandemic situation. All jokes aside. So I played a song written by Woody Guthrie, one of my earlier lockdown concerts. This has been going on. We've been in lockdown in Brussels for over 2 weeks, and a few days in, I started giving these afternoon concerts. I started up on the roof in our back terrace in a space without any borders, without any doors, to honor asylum seekers. I've been writing music with asylum seekers for 3 years in Brussels since moving here, and now that we're in lockdown, I'm not able to do that. And the asylum program is shutting down, if not already completely shut down. Borders are closing, and so, perspective, I'm really lucky to be in a safe space. I have support, all around me from friends and family, four-legged creatures, two-legged. I have food on the table, heat, electricity, the World Wide Web to connect with people from a distance. And so I've been playing migration songs. The other day I played songs that I wrote from the stories of factory workers in a national park in Lowell, Massachusetts, where I used to work. And just trying to honor it and keep my heart open, create space to send, waves of energy, safety, healing, for people who are in much more difficult circumstances than I am. And this song is a song written by Woody Guthrie, who is a really famous folk musician. So it is possible to become a really famous folk musician. And he traveled around the United States. He wrote songs about the kind of forgotten people in society, homeless people. He wrote songs to promote this idea of equality. And he wrote the song "This Land Is Your Land," which now in the United States, at least when I was growing up, so I can't really say now because that was a while ago, but when I was growing up, we would sing this in school. We didn't sing the whole version. You can Google "This Land Is Your Land." I even had a friend send me a video of him playing along, which was pretty awesome. But I played the first few verses, which are quite, the happy equality verses. Today, I'm going to sing the chorus that my husband and I wrote for more kind of global centric "This Land Is Your Land," because Woody Guthrie wrote this for predominantly the United States, and I'm going to sing some of the more risque verses. So scary, right? And the line, "This land was made for you and me," is the refrain. It goes at the end of every verse. So you can sing that with me. Ready? This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. I'll sing the original first. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And now here's the global. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Azerbaijan to the coast of Ireland, from the Amazon forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said, no trespassing, but on the other side, it didn't say nothing. Well, that side was made for you and me. Everybody, this land is your land. This land is my land. From Azerbaijan to the coast of Ireland. From the Amazon forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people by the relief office. I seen my people as they stood hungry. I stood there asking, was this land made for you and me? Everybody, this land is your land. This land is my land. From Azerbaijan to the coast of Ireland, from the Amazon forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I've lost my cheat sheet. Wait for it. Wait for it. This is a really professional concert. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. 'Cause this land was made for you and me. Here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Azerbaijan to the coast of Ireland. From the Amazon forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Someday, Woody Guthrie, it'll be true. There's still so much inequity, and a virus, I mean, is one way that, there's some equity, right? Because it affects all people. But because there's so much inequity in the way the world's resources and wealth are distributed, it's a little scary to think about some of the places where there's not enough healthcare resources for people. And so I feel pretty helpless a lot of the time, sitting here with my pretty cushy life in Brussels where the sun is shining, and the husky is by my side, my wolf companion to protect me. And I don't know. So, I mean, this is one small way that I feel like I can at least make a small ripple for equality. Just by sharing these songs, I write songs with people from their stories, and all stories have value, all people have value, and every story can become a song that can speak to people who've never met one another, can I think create a feeling of solidarity and empathy. And so it's why it's one reason why I continue to write these songs and sing them, and one reason why I'm offering these concerts. Another reason is completely selfish. It brings me joy to sing, and I think music is one of those universals. So here I am singing to you, and I'm planning on doing a concert a day for 30 days. I've done other projects, creative projects, where I'd create like a piece of music for every day for 30 days, and now I'm cutting it down to 30 minutes so that I can get through 30 days and still be able to do other practices and get outside in the sun while it's sunny. with my dog, do some yoga on the roof. I hope that you're staying safe and you're able to cultivate practices, maybe new traditions that can bring you joy in this time of uncertainty. Maybe I can sing one more song before I go. This is a song by Woody Guthrie's son, and I've not practiced it at all, but it's like one of my top songs. I love it. Arlo Guthrie, the version that I first heard was from a concert. So Arlo Guthrie and Pete Seeger, so other, more just amazing folk singers, bringing equity through music, or at least the call for equity through music to the world. They'd give a concert together every year on Thanksgiving and eventually in Carnegie Hall. And so I used to listen to my dad's record of this concert, and Arlo Guthrie was like, "Okay, I'm gonna like sing this song for you. You guys have been all right." He's got this great voice, and he was like, "But there's many people yet to sing, so I'm gonna do a song you can't possibly confuse with any other song, and it's not that hard to sing. It just goes a little like this: I'm a walking down the line, I'm walking down the line." And then he stops and he's like, "All right, let's do that much." So if you're listening and you want to sing, I'm walking down the line. And then it sort of does it again, a little different. I'm walking down the line. And then, walking down the line, walking down the line. My feet will be flying. He says, "Not yet. Tell you about my troubled mind." See, he's got a troubled mind because he's got flying feet. So now you know the song. It's really easy. And then it's like, what is it? Maybe I should practice first. What the hell is a C sharp on this ukulele? Oh, good times. Anyway, we'll just give it a try. I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. Walking down the line. My feet will be flying. Tell you about my troubled mind. Maybe I'll just skip that chord. Or I could put in like yeah, let's sing it in F. Yeah, great. Look at that. Under pressure. I am not in control. But I can make you think I am. Maybe I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. Walking down the line. My feet will be flying. Tell you about my troubled mind. Got a heavy-headed gal. Got a heavy-headed gal. I got a heavy-headed gal. She ain't feeling too well. She gets better over time. Will tell. I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. Walking down the line. My feet will be flying. Tell you about the troubled mind. I see the morning light. I see the morning light. And it's not because I'm an early riser. Didn't get to sleep last night. I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. Walking down the line. My feet will be flying. Tell you about the troubled mind. Got my walking shoes. I got my walking shoes. I got my walking shoes. I ain't gonna lose. I believe I got my walking blues. 'Cause I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. Walking down the line. Feet will be flying. Tell you about my troubled mind. All right, well, maybe I should have saved that for tomorrow and practiced it. But you know what? It doesn't really matter, right? Like, we are human and we're imperfect. And I think imperfection is just going to have to be the new perfection. As my husband says, it's good enough, right? It's good enough. Got out of bed this morning, had my coffee, went for a long walk in the forest, played some music, connected with people. I think that is better than good enough. I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to like A little round of applause, pat on the back. Love to you, friends out there. I hope that you're staying safe and well. And I will see you soon. Ciao.